It's less than 2 months. It's, what, 7.5 weeks? It's just 53 days after he announced his retirement. For good. That was it. Never again. World heavyweight boxing champion Tyson Fury has confirmed that he actually is going to go back in the ring.
So that has sparked fresh rumours of an ultimate fight with fellow Brit Anthony Joshua. Well, let's talk to the man himself. Very good morning to you, Tyson.
Morning.
Sitting there on the throne.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Hiya.
So good to see you. Listen, I was watching, in fact, an interview you did with our old friend, Piers Morgan, in which you said you'd achieved everything you wanted to achieve, you were content, you were undefeated, you were going to spend more time with the family, you had all the fame, success and money that you needed.
Yes.
And you were not going to change your mind. No amount of money could get you back into the ring. What happened?
That's correct. That's correct.
So what's happened?
Nothing's happened. I'm going to do some exhibition matches. They're not real fights.
Right.
They're purely entertainment factor.
So these are show fights rather than competition fights. Okay, so who do you fight?
This is not professional boxing. This is pure entertainment, Hollywood-style entertainment. That's all it is. So nothing more, nothing less.
So what's the difference then? I mean, are you literally pulling your punches? Are you not punching to the head? I mean, what's different in an exhibition boxing match?
The difference is the exhibition is you're not there to win or lose. You're there to enjoy, have a good time and put on a show for the fans. And you get to fight. You can literally in an exhibition, you can fight old-timers, famous people, whoever you want. So I'm looking at fighting Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Frank Bruno, whoever. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, that'd be fantastic. You know, you never know who we could be fighting on one of these shows, but that's what I'm open to in the upcoming future.
And presumably, it's paying you a fortune.
Well, I don't know about that. We haven't talked any figures, but I did tell Frank Warren, show me the money, Frank. So Frank's got to show me the money if he wants me to come back on these shows, and I'm sure he will, for sure.
Well, it's interesting because you will know that on the front of the Sun this morning, that money is rumoured to be £200 million. Is that the kind of money that you want to be shown?
Well, that's not a bad start, is it? That would be all right this morning.
Is that your opening?
That'd definitely get me a free holiday, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? You can make a few return trips to Lake Garda for that. Look, you say 100%. They're just exhibition matches. The Daily Mail was reporting that you would take on the winner in an undisputed clash between the World Cup semi-finals and final. The winner between that Joshua USYK fight, and that you're going to do that potentially in the middle of December. Is that...
This is absolute nonsense.
Right.
Absolute nonsense talk.
OK.
I've not spoke to anybody about any real fights with anybody. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happily retired, like I said to Piers. Happily retired, very, very happy and contented with my career, what I've done. Never say never. That's what I always say on things. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, me and professional boxing are absolutely kaput.
OK, well, you couldn't have made that clearer. And actually, on a sort of personal level, I'm sort of quite relieved, you know, because I've got a personal question for you, and it pertains to your health and well-being. On this programme, only the other day, we were talking about the inquiry into footballers who head the ball a lot, and how we know that statistically professional footballers who did a lot of headers in their past are much more likely to get dementia. It's just a fact. And I know a lot of professional rugby players recently retired who are also concerned about their mental well-being later on in life with dementia, because of the high impact at that level of rugby. Obviously, when we're talking about boxing, we're talking about heavy blows to the head and knockout. Do you ever worry about your health in the future? Because although you're very fast on your feet, I mean, you have taken punches to the head. Does it cause you any concern at nights when you go to sleep?
You know what? It's not something that I ever think about. I've got out of boxing unscathed, brain's intact, everything's good. So it's not something that I've worried about too much. I took a few blows in the past, some heavy knockout blows. But, you know, we understand the risk getting into this game. It's not something that we've just come to and it's a shock you're going to get punched in the face. We know exactly the risk and reward out of this game. And thankfully, I've gotten out and all my faculties are intact.
Well, that's the important point, isn't it? Because you look at someone like Muhammad Ali, and I mean, you're not going to be fighting professionally again, you say, just exhibition fights. But Muhammad Ali just didn't stop, did he? And he went on too long. And look what happened to him.
Exactly my point. I've said this many, many times. And people need to realise 1 more, 2 more, 10 more. It's always going to be somebody else. And it's not them who's got to put their body through trauma day in, day out, taking punches, taking punishment in the gym. Right. So it's enough is enough. And I'm happy to do the entertaining side of yes. Show business boxing.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. It's just interesting that you make that distinction, Tyson, because when you do the exhibition matches, does that mean that you're just at far less risk?
Most definitely. An exhibition is not a serious thing. It's a fun thing. It's a chance for fans to see an old-timer versus a new-timer. It's purely fun. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. But recently, I saw Evander Holyfield in an exhibition and get knocked out cold. So there's always a risk, I suppose, when you're getting punched. But as far as I'm concerned, going in an exhibition fight with whoever, it's we're not trying to knock each other out in the ring.
Got it.
We're there for a pure fun factor.
Got it.
If they're exhibition matches which are entertainment rounds, does that mean that the outcome is determined? Do you know what's going to happen? Are you simply there in the ring in order to, you know, so that people can see legends in the ring?
No, there's not scripted. It's not like a scripted stage show. You're just taking your time. You're not trying to do any damage. You're just enjoying yourself. And you get to see 2 legends in a boxing ring doing what they do best, dancing under the lights and putting on a great show.
I mentioned Muhammad Ali there. Looking back over, say, the last half century, maybe even century, of all the boxers in the world that you could, if you could bring them back, that you could have an exhibition fight with, who would you like to be in the ring with in that fantasy world?
In the fantasy world, I'd love to have an exhibition with Muhammad Ali. That'd have been fantastic. George Foreman, all the greats from the past. Yeah. You know, people often talk about sharing rings with these great fighters, and I got the opportunity to share the ring with this guy, that guy. Yeah. And it's always been like a thing to share from young fighters coming through to champions on top today. We want to share a ring with fighters from the past, but it's unrealistic. But yeah, if I could share the ring with somebody, it would be Muhammad Ali.
I'm not surprised.
Just an exhibition.
He was a guy who danced as much as he boxed, wasn't he? He was extraordinary.
Yeah, for sure he was.
Yeah. So, Tyson, to establish, you are... I realise that you say never, but at the moment you are ruling out a fight against Anthony Joshua or against USYK. That is not on the cards as a professional bout.
No, there's nothing of any professional boxing on the cards at all.
OK, so, all right, that is very clear. Meanwhile, though, you are on your official after-party tour of the UK. Now, this is really interesting. This is where you can actually talk, can't you, to fans? And it's a lot of that, and we've talked about it before on the show, is how you keep yourself fit, how you keep your mind fit. You're very honest and open about your mental health. And I think one of the questions that fans, when they are able to speak to you, they ask, how do you do that? How do you lift yourself up at those times when you feel low?
Most definitely. And this tour is going to be an excellent opportunity for people to come, hear the story if they haven't already heard it, speak to me in person type of thing, ask questions, whatever they might feel. And this tour it's an after-party tour, fantastic, but it's also a way of me communicating my story across to people in order that they might be helped also. There might be somebody in that room at that given moment who are suffering very much and don't know where to go, don't know who to speak to, and one sentence, one word, maybe help them, maybe send them to a doctor to get medical help, and that person's life would be saved. Maybe there's somebody in the crowd thinking about suicide or really in a really dark place, and coming to that show will bring them out of it.
Well, look, we're pretty much out of time, I'm afraid. I'd love to talk to you for longer. I have to tell you that the excitement on the programme here this morning, when we knew you were definitely coming on the show and talking to us exclusively, was intense. And this question might embarrass you. This is the last one from me anyway. You're incredibly popular. Why do you think so many people are so fond of you?
Because I'm tall, dark and handsome, super sexy. You know, what's not to be fond of?
There's the perfect answer. Great.
I have to say, Tyson, we often have a joke about weight. I'm always asking you for weight loss tips. You told me to stop having the milk in my coffee, and it was an excellent tip. Unfortunately, I can't stop with the takeaways in the evening. But you are looking fighting fit. You're looking very well. Are you back in full training, or do you not need to be quite so hard on yourself because of what's coming up?
Well, thank you very much for the compliment, Susanna. Aww. I am in full-time training twice a day. I do it for my mental health and mental well-being. Feeling really good, to be fair. I'm on weight. I'm ready. Like if I was in active competition, I'd be ready to fight tomorrow. Very fit, very focused, very determined. And, you know, I'm in a positive mindset. I've got a beautiful family to take care of. I have a lot of things going on in my life. And what we haven't spoke about quickly is I've just signed a 10-part documentary with Netflix, a fly on the wall documentary, and that's going to be starting filming next week. So that's going to be fantastic. Well, that'll keep me busy.
Brilliant. Well, look, it's always a pleasure for us to talk to you, Tyson. Thank you so much. Send our very best wishes and love to your family.
Thank you, guys.
And good luck with the tour and with the entertainment matches.
And her coffee is black.
Yes.
Keep going, guys. All the best.
And you, mate.
See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good to see you.
What a lovely guy.